Hey, what's going on? My name is Joseph Nicholas, and today we're checking out Salvage Hidden Treasures, which is a game for 2 to 4 players playing about 45 minutes to 60 minutes and is for ages 10 and up. Now, before we get into how to play the game, a few things I want to mention with this game is it is very good at staying simple while maintaining a good replay value. Honestly, I think this game is extremely fun for a game that has a very minimal approach to the gameplay, which isn't bad at all. I actually really much love this game. A few things I want you to notice while we're going through this game is the colors they use. I think the colors are fantastic. They're very vibrant and green, and I think it really makes the game kind of pop out for being so minimal. Another thing I want you to notice when playing this game is how well everything's kind of put together. Like, with a game that only allows so much to do, you know, a lot of the events in the game, a lot of the treasures in the game, they add little things to it. Like, certain treasures need to be like collected in a series in order to give you more points, and events can really change the way the game goes, allowing you to like move anywhere on the map you want, or steal treasures or something like that. Really neat stuff. So what we're going to do right now is check out how to play the game. Hidden Salvage is about exploring the open seas and looking for treasures to win the game, to simply put it. There's 16 rounds per game, and throughout the game you'll be moving around the sea, looking for valuable treasures to maintain or use to upgrade your fleet in order to obtain better treasures. To begin, shuffle all the treasure tiles, put them in a 4x4 grid as you see down here. Keep in mind, each treasure tile slot is going to have 5 treasure cards in it. Place the full moon counter at 1. This will be showing you the rounds. Notice here there's a 17 to 20. That's for a 2-player game. It does add more to the game and, balances out the timing of the game, so it's a decently lengthy game. On the far left, you have all the money. I want you to notice how beautiful these colors are. Geez, are they deep. You also have the meeples in each color of each player. The turn phase. Each player starts with $1,500 plus a ship meeple of their color. Place that on any corner on the map. Now, of course, go ahead and assign someone the role of the banker. They work with all the money issues and just distribution and all that. Makes it simple. How a turn looks. At the start of each turn, a player receives $500. Now, depending on where you're at in the game, usually early game, this doesn't happen as often, but you'll be reaching phase 2, which is the market phase. You can buy a new ship for $3,000, or you can exchange a piece of treasure, this for example, 200 gold, and you can turn that into a dollar value. The next phase is navigation. Now this works individually for each meeple on the field. So if I had 2 red ships on the field, I would do a navigation phase option for both of them separately. But since this is the first round, we have 1 character and you have 1 movement. Now keep in mind, you are more than welcome to share an occupied space. There's no issues with that, but there is an issue with going diagonal. Ships don't do that. They only go straight in either directions. So I'm going to go 1 to the left. After navigation phase, you begin the action phase, which again affects each individual ship separately. So if I had 2 ships on the field, they would both have an action phase. So with my action phase, I have a couple options. I could do nothing, which would be a waste of a turn. I can discover undiscovered tiles, which means I can take the tile, pay the cost, which is 500, flip it over, and either get a treasure or an event or some type of item. Now this is the sonar event, so I may look at and rearrange all tiles in one adjacent space. Wow. So let's go ahead and do that. That sounds pretty great. So we have another event, a couple of events in here. Oh, wow. This is pretty much an entire section of events. Shark attack being terrible. The shark attack, you do damage and have to pay the bank for repairs, which, you know, you need money in this game. Airlift is nice. You can move anywhere. Okay, so I do want to get this treasure going. And since I know at least the value is 600 versus like anything in here could be lower, it could be higher, but I know for a fact this is 600. And when I hold pieces of the Titanic, it cannot be sold, discarded, or dropped at any time. So the only issue with this is I can't sell it for a dollar value. And another thing too is each ship is only allowed to carry 10 pounds. Okay, I'm just gonna call it pounds or weights. All right, so 10 weight. So a weight of 10. This is already a weight of 3, so that would limit me to 7 weights, or a weight of 7 left. Whatever, they're pounds now. That would be 7 pounds left, or 7 of these anchors. So doing this could hurt me. I could look for, you know, some type of item or something that allows me to receive more weight to distribute. But you know what? I think it's a nice little risk to go for. And then after that action, I can end my turn. Now let's speed this up a little bit. So player 2 goes, does his move, and he discovers this for 500. So that original 500 he got, you know, he's just pretty much putting back. He cannot take this. This would be a salvage move. So let's fast forward, okay? And now it's his turn again. Since I may move my boats, I'm actually not going to move this boat. So I just started my next turn as this player. I drew my 500, and instead of moving, I'm actually not going to move. I don't have to move. But since I discovered this last turn, this turn I'm going to salvage this treasure. Because it's already been discovered. All I need to do is pay the salvaged cost, 500, and I own this treasure. So blue team now owns $2,000 worth of valued gold or monies or whatever, treasure. They are now in the lead. However, notice that they have a 5 in their weight cost. They only have 5 pounds left to hold, or 5 weight. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. Let's say this player has, you know, done a couple things since the last time you saw them. They bought this piece of Titanic. They moved their way over here. And they are on this here $3,000 worth piece of fool's gold. They don't like this too much because fool's gold actually reduces in value for every other treasure you hold. They don't really want that. So what they're going to do is dredge. Dredge is when you take the top tile, place it at the bottom, and now they're, you know, more or less looking for better gold in that slot. The last thing you're able to do, and I personally haven't done this very often, but I could see maybe this person want to do it, they can drop. They could literally, wherever they're standing, drop their tile of treasure on that slot. You can only do 1 action per round. Just keep that in mind. So let's just continue a couple more rounds here. So this player goes, draws their 500, moves to this tile and discovers it for 300. This player goes, you know, they're still trying to make a decent amount so they could buy a new ship. So he gets his 500. It looks like they almost have enough. So this person they're going to go for they're going to trade this in for actual value. So they're going to sell this for 600 gold. Now they have enough for a new ship. They just have to wait for the next round to buy it, because that was their goal, is to buy a new ship. This player goes, they don't want this yet. They're going to keep exploring, so they're going to move 1, discover it. Oh wow, look at that one, huh? Not only is it worth 1,500, but while you hold it, you are not affected by shark attacks, which, as we saw earlier, suck. So now this player goes, draws their 500, 500. So we have here 3,000 smackaroos, right? They get a new ship on the board, and it has to start in the original location of your first ship. Now they can navigate. So they're going to move one here. This player is going to make their way over here. They're going to discover for 200. And this player actually can't discover. We only have 100 left, so they're just going to hang out there. So this player goes. They really like that. It only costs 400, so they're going to put back the 500 they just got this turn, receive 100, and take this here. They're actually completely out of weight. Looks like they cannot carry anything more on that ship. They either need to get a new ship, because that'll give them another 10 weights to hold, or ways to increase your weight other than buying a new ship for another 10 is events like our ship is a tanker, giving you 3 additional weight capacity. Other cards you can find, including in the game, that are events that are extremely exciting are Barrels of Diesel, which when you discard, you can move an additional move. Airlift allows you to move any space instantly. Mysterious Scroll is actually pretty good. While you hold it, you may move another player's boat instead of your own during the movement phase. Wow. Get them away from those great valued treasures, am I right? Black Market actually doubles your treasure in value. And Pirate Attack. Pirates plunder your bounty. Give 1 item of treasure to the player to your right. Wow. They don't have the weight capacity. They have to discard the treasure. So keep that in mind. That's always... This guy'd be pretty screwed in this type of situation. And the Shark Attack, of course. I don't even want to bring that up. I hate it so much. So how do you win? Once you've reached 16 or 20 in a 2-player round, or when all the tiles have been collected, which hasn't really happened in my games yet, the winner is the player with the highest valued set of treasure. And money is completely worthless, so just take advantage of it while you're playing, because it'll mean nothing at the end of the game. One thing, obviously, was the components. I think they're very attractive to look at. I think the use of the components made it easier for the game to implement the whole minimal approach to things, while also delivering a lot of content within the components. But my favorite thing about this game is the accessibility. It's extremely appealing. This is a game that can be played with anyone, which I think adds to the replay value like a tenfold, right? If you're going to any type of party, any type of gathering, or in this case today, maybe going to the next room to hang out with a family member, this game could be brought out, because the game can be taught within about 5 minutes and can be enjoyed over not only just the 16 or 20 rounds, but multiple playthroughs. Neutrals, I actually found, but because this game is so simple, it seems a lot more polarizing with the few people I've played this with. People who are into more heavier games, or like a lot to do, a lot of the like gimmicks and themes and fun stuff like that, found this game to be a little dry, while players who didn't really mind that, more casual, something like that, liked the game. Now, one thing I didn't like about this game is I honestly feel like the first few rounds are extremely dry, because the entire first few rounds are kind of spent discovering what the ocean has to offer. So it's just like, okay, I'm going to move, I'm going to discover, next, Strategies. The strategy I suggest is within those first few rounds, really focus on getting that second ship. That's not gonna only amplify the fun and thrill that you seek towards the like middle and end game, but you also get that huge jump on your opponents by having that extra turn, that extra action, that extra like opportunity for
treasure and that extra 10 weight. Now, if this is a game that sounds relatively delicious to you and appetizing to fill that quench for the oceanic world of treasure hunting, then please check this out. There's links all over the description here. You can go to the website and check out my review there. I also have some links there. If this isn't a game that you're interested in, then you probably clicked away a long time ago. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day.